for everyone. Thank you. I don't have any doubt about that. But I do know, and this year is my year of saying we all have to make commitments to do something about that. And it has to be every day. That is the path. That's the only way I know. And with a lot of years of practice every day, I can't get over how many times a day I forget. With a lot of practice every day, I can't get over how often I forget. And so I know the truth of this for us all. And so I'm going to ask each of you who has not yet, and thank you to those who have, because you're here and you're important and you're leading the way. You're the light, by the way, for others who are too busy to make the commitment. I know that happened. I've heard that twice so far. I was just too busy to write it. Well, if you were too busy to write it, you were too busy to practice it. And that I also know. And I've heard, well, I've got all these other practices. Siobhan, you were so courageous. But by the way, there were 50 of you, not one. You just said it out loud. Thank you for the fearlessness of that. But I do this and I do that and I do this other thing and then I, right? And I know that's true also. By the way, I don't have any doubts about the value of all those other things you also do. And I'm going to say, and we need to do this too. And so if you haven't yet written your commitment to me, something between 20 breaths a day and whatever else you can come up with, I want you to do that today on chat. You can write me privately if you don't know how. Ask someone, they will give you instructions from chat. I know Carrie's here and Courtney's here and Seth is here and others are here who know how to do that. I know they'll support you also. And our commitment is to support each other. And if we are not committing ourselves to practice, all the conversations, however delightful they are, however humorous you think I am, however, not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. And I don't want to fool you. And I don't want to fool you into thinking that that will be the path to the end of suffering for you, because it will not. You'll laugh for a minute. You'll think it's cute or funny, but then, so 20 breaths every day, taking time to sit still, to be quiet, to turn off the devices, to not pet the cat. Really, every day. And so write me what that is. And you can write me privately. And if you don't know how to do that, consult with someone. Okay. Is everybody understanding what I'm asking? Because that's the other thing I heard. Oh, I didn't know you actually meant an amount of time each day. I thought you meant intentions. Well, yes, I do mean intentions, and I mean an intention towards practice. It was true. But I think unless we write it, unless we say it out loud, unless we commit ourselves to it, unless there's somebody also holding us in it, a community, a teacher, the teachings, it is not possible. Okay. Have I beat you up enough on that? Yeah. Here we are now. Is it the 3rd of January? Is that right?
Yeah.
3rd of January. Here we are, the 3rd of January. So if you had a 20 breath practice starting on New Year's Day, you just have 60 now. So it's all workable. You know, we can always begin again, right? We begin again. So just start here. And if you can't get to the 60, you certainly can get to the 20. And if you put 30 minutes of practice each day, well, you're going to be sitting for a while. And that's okay too. That's okay too, right? There's no bad things, no distress that will come from it. Okay, everybody's got me, right? Yeah. Because I love you. That's why. Because I love you, that I want this for you, and I'm going to ask it from you. That's the only reason. Only took me about 25 years to figure that out. That every time Joko went, seriously, I don't want to hear this. This is just the storyline repeating. Why don't we just practice? And I think, oh, there's no point to that. What am I going to do with that? Just practice. How am I going to get rid of this guy if I'm just practicing? How's he going to get better? He's not going to get better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So know that I understand. We're looking at the Parmitas. And this week, I know it was a crazy week. I do know it was fairly difficult for people, by the way, I do. So we're going to open the door wide now to the 6 Parmitas. What are the Parmitas? I'm just going to talk about it for a moment. They are the trainings, the path to on the Bodhisattva way. They are the expressions, one could say, of the heart of bodhicitta. They will naturally emanate from the heart of bodhicitta, and they are also the path, right? So this is the beautiful thing. Not only do we grow more of it as we practice, it comes from the generosity we already have. It is cultivated from the bodhicitta heart that already exists. And so I want you to know it's constantly like that infinity feeding itself, right? And that's beautiful. It's feeding itself. And so when you go, I'm not capable, it can't happen, just know you've gotten caught in some identity crisis of solidifying yourself in some unrealistic, unreal, dreamlike way, because you are capable. This is because you have been born to this precious human life. It is because you are here. It is because the teachings have been offered to you. This has been the gift already gifted to you, right? To say, you are this. We're just finding our way back then to our most true, most natural, most fearless, most loving selves, which is already possible, right? And then, says the sutta, and then we train. And we go, okay, if it's true, how do I get to that? And I think of the paramitas as a ladle. Okay, scoop this stuff up, right? Get it in, and then find our path for practice. So given that, I want to just look for 1 second. No, I don't. I'm going to let that go. We'll look at the homework, but I know it was a struggle because of New Year's Day and other commitments and defining our intentions, and people were doing a lot of really important good work that I appreciate. And I know that the paramitas of generosity were there if you were in it. If you were writing those intentions, that's generosity of heart. You were committing time, attention, and care to yourself, saying, what this year, how do I come to the end of suffering? How do I cultivate greater happiness, ease, and goodness for myself and the world? And so that would have been an act of generosity, wouldn't it? The very turning of one's heart mind towards oneself is an act of generosity, right? And then the act of discipline. Well, writing it down. Some of us fell apart there. Well, we'll fall apart. Not everybody got to the writing. Some of you did. Congratulations. Some of you didn't. It's okay. Do it now. Do it today. Writing. What is my path? What am I intentioning as a quality of being this year? We set an amount of time in a day for still and silence, breath awareness, or other practice. We set a time for called the year, and we set a way of being in that time frame. We set a way of being. Okay, so that's disciplined effort, the discipline of that, and that also is very important. and then that, I'm blanking. My mind has just gone dead. Oh, joyful effort or enthusiasm, that it will not only take energy, but it will give energy. It not only takes something of us, it gives you more back. And that's a promise. It will give you more back. Those 20 breaths, 20 minutes, looking at the intentions that you've written every day, it will give you more than you can know. And that's a promise as well, not only from me, but from the spiritual traditions. Joyful effort. And patience was the other one. That's going to be one of mine this year. Patience is one of mine. Acceptance is also one of my intentions, because sometimes we have to confront the truth of suffering first, and just be with it. And that's what our stability practice is. And then invite acceptance and patience. And I'm going to be working on that this year, both for myself. I have spent 2 years not doing what I've needed to do for myself physically. I've not worked out regularly. I've taken some walks here and there, not enough. And I have, the consequence of that has been a weakened hip and some other things that I have co-created. And I'm going to have to be accepting and patient about that. I feel really energized and disciplined about changing that. And I had to wait till I was suffering enough to do so. I watched it for almost 2 years. Go, gosh, that's still happening. Gee, not one other thought. There it is again. Well, stepped in that one more time. Didn't do a thing. Did it one more time. There, oh, that hip. There that hip is again. Okay, looked at that. Everybody's looking at me. Really? You keep saying that. You keep saying that. Well, I'm not saying it anymore. Right? I'm there. And I also know that that is a part of the path. It takes what it takes, right? To get us where we are. And so that commitment for me, I'm naming it out loud. I will take all supports for that, as I want to be able to offer supports for your intentions, your well-being, and your happiness to you. So please write those and write them to me at Diana at Everyday Mind if you don't write them here. And please include an amount of time every day. And that's 365 of those. And we're on day 3. So let's get to it together. All right, let's prepare to sit. I'm struggling with my computer here for a second. Here we go. And let's sit. We're going to hold those aspirations, just the 3 paramitas today: generosity, discipline, enthusiasm, joyful effort. All those go into the discipline, and patience. We'll talk about some more of those today. And so finding an upright posture, wakeful, attentive, alive, present. And actually, the neuroscience says the minute you intention to place the mind, you're already meditating. And we've seen already the change in the fMRIs. The minute you intention practice, you're actually already placing the mind. And so be watchful of this idea that I've got to be something else, which contributes to our feeling failed. Remember, we can leave eyes open. I'm going to be practicing non-meditation meditation today. I have a scratch in my eye, so closing my eye doesn't feel great. And I really want to be wide open today as I begin this new year towards this epiphany. clarity, clear seeing. But you can choose to keep eyes open or closed. And even if you have eyes open in that sense of resting the eye at the end of the nose, somewhere out in open space, watchful of the objects that we try to locate. We're going to be talking about groundlessness next week. We're not looking for handles. And we can turn a part of the attention as we're resting in open space, if you're working on non-meditation, meditation, towards the sense of the body sitting in that open space. And you can just do a little brief body scan, checking in on the feet, moving, feeling the sense of the legs and the hips. Feeling the length of the spine, whether you're sitting or lying. The extension of the head, maybe the weight of the head if you're lying. And right out the top of the head into the open space above you. And then breathing in, coming into the front of the body, making contact with the head. And restful, serene, relaxed eyes, cheeks, mouth, the whole of the face, and inviting that little gentle uplift at the ends of the mouth. Actually relaxes the face. And invites ease. And dropping down beyond the face, into the throat. Feeling the movement of air as it gently touches the throat, the vocal cords. With the out breath moving down beyond the throat into the chest, the heart space. Feeling that sense of aliveness, of vibration, the wakefulness, the energy available now. The diaphragm, the belly, and below the belly in the area of the hara, deep within one's being. And see if you can't open to the breathscape as a whole. And just let's rest the attention there. Releasing the shoulders, relaxing the arms, letting the weight of the upper body naturally settle into your seat. Finding a place within that breathscape where you can sense that enthusiasm, that energy for this practice today. And if you have a 20 breath practice, congratulations. And if it's a 15-minute practice, a 10-minute practice, a 20-minute practice, congratulations. You have arrived here and received the supports for that, and also are a support to yourself and others. And feel the enthusiasm, the vitality of that reality. I've gotten myself here, and this is good. And so we let the heart vibrate, let it tingle. We feel into the felt sense of that energy. It is the heart of bodhicitta, this awakened heart mind that we want to know, remember, and call upon again and again. And then we invite from that aliveness, from that generosity, you got yourself here, this matters. We're going to invite that discipline. And so, no matter what this wandering mind will seek, it's an addict, remember, and that's not its problem. It's the problem is that we follow it. And so, we're going to watch the tendency to go off into thoughts or plans or storylines or thoughts about me, thoughts about the practice, and we smile with a lot of friendliness, a lot of kindness. That's also generosity of heart. And we invite ourselves with this disciplined effort back to our meditation object, the breath, the open space. The present moment. And as we rest in the breath, Shanti, Paramita, patience, we simply abide and breathe. And with that generous heart, we commit ourselves, don't we? Again and again. See how it takes all of the paramitas. And this is the meditation. And that prajna paramita arises. That bright light, the clear seeing, the insights, the understanding, and the wisdom arise naturally. And we are free, one breath at a time. And we remember again the point, the purpose of the whole of this life right here. And we commit ourselves again in this breath. And as we rest in stillness, silence, and open space, that prajna paramitam sees the clear path. There is no thinking that will set me or others free. No thinking. It is bigger. It is the quality of our own heart minds. With each breath, we stabilize, we purify, we cultivate that non reactivity, we unhook and open again. And again. And what hopefully you begin to sense and feel is that you cannot fail in the practice, because prajna paramitam is right here. You see the mind in its clinging, you see the mind in its aversion, you see the wanting and the not wanting. You catch this thinking mind and its judging or condemning or hopelessness, whatever's happening. And no matter what arises, you remember. Remember, thinking mind, thoughts as thoughts, and we open again to our true nature. And now we have cultivated a degree of ease, of calm abiding, of the qualities of that presence. The paramitas are available in a stronger way. And we're not finished. We gather up all of the benefits of this practice, this felt sense of generosity, of disciplined effort, of patience, of meditation itself, of joyful effort, of prajna, all the wisdom, all the compassion, all the goodness. We gather it up. And we remember that there are infinite, uncountable others just like me who know this struggle, this necessary commitment, this falling away, the coming back, the commitment made, the commitment broken, the intention set, and then the intention failed. We remember all those identities and we smile. And then we send these very qualities after cultivating them for ourselves. We offer them through our very being and the wish. And it requires both. The wish is not enough, and the being is not enough if you don't make the offer. You make the offer to all beings everywhere, without exception, just like me, who need this practice, who need each other, who need the teachings. And we offer it completely, wholeheartedly. And we breathe it out. We touch into our own bodhicitta heart. We gather up all of that goodness. And we send it out. And for me, the best way to send it out is to first remember my own struggle, um, my own suffering, my own addictions, my own misunderstandings, my own reactivity. And as I make contact with that, I wish for its ease, for its relief. My wish is that others not have to struggle, that they are freed from these afflictions, because this is very real. It's not some idea. And we grow that bodhicitta heart beyond ourselves, into its true, boundless, and infinite nature. We not only make it real based on the truth of suffering that we know, we make it bigger. We offer it to all those who know this suffering too. And with that in breath, feel into your own heart. Make contact. And with the out breath, send out whatever is available. Is it energy for the practice, a renewed commitment, an aspiration for daily practice that will benefit yourself and others? And the wisdom that knows the truth of it. However you talk yourself out of it, see if you can't remember the wisdom. May we all be happy. Offer this blessing to your own heart and breathe it out. Like that fine mist of metta. May we all be free from pain, fear, confusion, hatred. May we be free from suffering. May we recognize our infinite blessings, be grateful, and rejoice. May we offer those blessings, wish those blessings, give those very blessings to others. Begin by being the blessing. And may we rest and dwell in this bodhicitta heart. Filled with loving kindness, with love, compassion, and wisdom. Remembering who we really are. And so long as time and space endures, and as long as there are beings who exist, may I so too remain, to dispel all the sorrows of the world. Just like this. And then it is a very good day. Whatever else you do, right? It will be a very good day. And this is what we're committing to every day. And if you don't, I don't know. I don't know the way. I don't know how to be the support that I ultimately want to be, except to say, call me, write me. And yes, I'll agree, it's hard. And then I'll say, let's do at least those 20 to 60 breaths, because that matters. And then you'll see that, and right, then we grow more. Okay, I thank you very much. I've got some people making their daily commitments. I really appreciate that. Wonderful. I'm going to be posting, of course, not with names and not with personal statements, but we're going to be posting this because I want you to see all the commitments that people are making to you and to themselves and the world. So just know it's not going to be, you're not going to be identified. It's just going to be blank committing. This person's 10 minutes, this person's 10 breaths, this person's 45 minutes twice a day. And it will inspire you, won't it? Because they need your practice to maintain theirs. Thank you, everyone. There are a few of you not on here. And thank you for those who put yourselves on as a direct message to me. Thank you. If you don't know how to do that, email me, as I said. And if you're still figuring out how much time you're thinking too much. Yeah. So if you're going, I don't know, like, is it 6 minutes? Don't do that. Pick something and put it down. And if you feel safer, pick the lower end of it. Put that down. Yeah, because whatever number you put down, my aspiration is that you do at least that, right? And that what I know about the practice is that it will grow. It will grow you. You won't even have to decide that that's the way you want it to go. Right? So if you have a 10 breath practice, guess what I know? You're going to get to 12 or 15 or 18 or 20, because there's nothing more beneficial than the practice towards the end of suffering and the path. I already know that. And by the way, that doesn't mean I don't think other things are helpful. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. Anything else we want to say? Anybody want to come on? Anything you want to say? I can't do it. Who's out there? I just can't. No, every day, 365. Yes, you can. So you don't even need to write that to me. Oh. Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. What's the hindrance? What's in the way? What's the fear? What do you think it is? All of you sitting out there. Failure. Once I make the commitment, I'm stuck. Right? Uh-oh. Now I've got to actually figure this out. Just like me and my hip. Fear is always the unknown. Yeah, we're going to try to land you in the known being I can count on myself in this. That's the beginning of the known. There are no other handles. We don't know anything else, right? But you can know that. You can rest in that. Yep. Someone's saying they started the 40-day practice 40 days from Christmas to through the Epiphany, which is on Friday. The Epiphany is Friday. If you don't understand or know the beautiful teaching around the Epiphany, look something up. John O'Donohue has written a little bit about the Epiphany, that clear seeing recognition, right? That's the Epiphany, the recognition of both ourselves and the possibilities in this world. Wow. And they're huge and they're infinite. And they're expressed, of course, in all traditions in their way. And then 40 days from Christmas is February 2nd, and that's my birthday. And so happy birthday to Di. 40 days of practice, great gift. Thank you very much. Get your breaths in there, your minutes in there, your twice a days in there. And remember, we are always here, and I am always here. I have devoted myself to this. I'm going to respond to you. I'm going to go, let's figure this out. Let's put it here in the car if the kids are crying. Let's go to the store and, sit in the parking lot for 5 minutes. Go to the bathroom like Norma Jean and I used to do for a whole half hour and practice, daily practice, because we didn't want our families to know, because we were heathens at that time. Like, how do we explain to our Catholic families that we're doing this weird thing?
I had an interesting experience recently, Diana, that I can share regarding the practice. So it has to do with somebody I've been dealing with for about a year and a half on Maureen's car. We've been trying to get it painted correctly. And the manager of the place has been extremely patient with us over this year and a half. And each time I would deal with him, I would, come to him with, some frustration, I guess, because we had to bring the car back again. But I would always deal with him with patience myself. And we just kept working on it and working on it. It took us 4 times to get that car back, to get it right. And, I kept noticing this part of him that was patient. And so this last time when we met with him, he talked a little bit about the fact that he's been doing meditation for well over 10 years. I guess he started with Wayne Dyer and met him in person. And so his practice, he told me, is a very solid practice. He gets up early in the morning. It's like 4:30 or so. He does a practice for, it sounded like about 45 minutes. And then when he's at work at lunchtime, he practices for a minimum of 15 minutes every day. And I was just super impressed because you could really see and notice the difference with him. Well, because I don't know him before, but I can see somebody that really has a lot of patience in a job that actually very much needs that, dealing with people all the time. He was a manager of the paint shop. So I just thought I'd share that because it really shows what can happen with a good, strong practice over the years.
There is no doubt. And it's guaranteed. 100% money back. Guaranteed. It will change you for the better, and there's no other possibility. It just isn't there. And this is your gift. This is your gift to the world, isn't it? Look at this. Look at the mess that very thing Greg was talking about could be, right? You're complainers. You guys are, right? It's not okay. Now we can get into conflict. We can decide the other's horrible, right? We can exchange conflicts and aggressions and hatred. We can propagate that. How easy is it to do? Or we can do the other thing. And that other thing is with patience, with kindness, with recognition for myself, in my own beating heart, in my own distress, in my own, I don't know how to make this work. I don't even know what to do. I'm going to try to bring these paramitas to the present moment. That is going to be it, what you're doing in those 20 breaths or those 20 minutes. Right. And remember what I said, I'm confident it will grow. I don't have one concern about it. I'm just smiling because I know that whatever your minimums, because you will feel and know it too. You will feel and know it too. And there's nothing better than having yourself with yourself as a way of living your days and your life. And that's just one beautiful example, Greg. Thank you so much for that. They're infinite, right? We know and remember those people, don't we? Right? The nurse, when I was pretty sure I was dying in the hospital in ER, who said, you know, I know you're going to be okay. And I knew she meant it. And you're probably going to need to do some things differently, right? You're going to probably need to look at this and to find a way. And what I didn't realize was that I was ingesting caffeine that was doing some really scary things to me. And she was exactly right. You're going to need to look at this and figure out what needs to happen. Isn't that happening every moment of, right? Every moment of the paramitas and their evidence, what's happening that this is arising, and also every moment of reactivity. What's happening here? How am I getting caught? What's happening that I'm being activated into this path that I know at some other level is completely destructive, not only to me, but to others. Beautiful. All right, we're going to look at the book and the paramitas. We've actually studied the paramitas for at least 20 weeks in times past, but I want to look at the other paramitas because these qualities are the qualities that we are cultivating. Next week, we're going to go to chapter 18, groundlessness. I said that was my favorite chapter, but actually I forgot about chapter 19. And I actually have chapter 19, part of it in folded. That's how it was the chapter 19 that actually, and we will pass that one around if you don't have the book. It's actually that essential. But I wanted to back up for a second because I want to review not only the paramitas themselves, but what they ultimately mean to us. And so remember, we started, this was, I think, chapter 17. Yeah. We named the paramitas generosity, disciplined effort, patience, enthusiasm. I called that joyful effort. Meditation itself, that's the commitment. That's the commitment. You got to put something up to get something, right? There's no free lunch. Didn't somebody say? We've got to commit ourselves. And the prajna, that unconditional wisdom that is its continual result and required. See, this is that ever continuing loop. It's also required to keep the practice. If you don't have wisdom that the practice is actually a benefit, you won't keep doing it. If you don't have discipline, you won't keep doing it. If you don't see the juice, the joy, and the benefit of the practice, you won't keep doing it, right? If you don't have any generosity of heart, you won't keep doing it for yourself, will you? You won't. You'll go, meh, right? I'm not worth it. It's not worth it. Right? That's a generous open heart that says you are deserving of this. You are deserving of finding the time every day. And the word I want to remind of the paramita. Paramita means gone beyond. Gone beyond what? Gone beyond my limited ideas about generosity. Gone beyond. Patience beyond patience, Greg. Do you remember that when we were studying the paramitas? Generosity beyond your idea of generosity. Enthusiasm beyond what you can imagine. Patience beyond anything you could ultimately think, right? Gone beyond, gone to the other shore, to the end of suffering is also what that means in the Buddhist suttas. Beyond what? Attachment and aversion. Margie said on Saturday, right? The 4 words, I give up everything and I cling to nothing. This is the path in its shortest version. I give up everything, I cling to nothing, and open to everything. However you can find the way to that, that is its truth. Beyond the illusion of separateness. And then I wanted to read this pink line. The foundation of prajna paramita is mindfulness, an open-ended and continuous, by the way, inquiry into our direct moment-to-moment experience. Here's a line I thought was important. We question without the intention of finding permanent solutions. We inquire. We question without the intention of finding permanent solutions. We investigate, we explore, we check in. We cultivate a mind that is ready and inquisitive, not satisfied with our limited, biased beliefs. And we have to know we're carrying them around. We move from narrow-mindedness, that small, limited view, to flexibility and fearlessness. That's on page 94. Moving from that small mind to that boundless mind, flexible, permeable, continuing to open, and also fearless. That's going to help us. This fearlessness will help us as we move towards groundlessness, clinging to nothing, open to everything. Right? That's the fearlessness, clinging to nothing, no view, no identity, no definition of self, no perceptions of others, nothing. Now what do you got? A lot of open space, right? The minute you get rid of all, nope, I think this about him. No, you don't. It's not true. I think this about me. Nope, it's not true. It's limited. That's thinking mind. This is what I think we need to do. Probably not. And what you do need to do is commit yourself every day to those 7 breaths, 10 breaths, 10 minutes every day, without exception. We're going there, without exception, on the path to this cultivation. We looked at generosity last week. We looked at the essence of that being non-attachment. Here's where I wanted to talk about discipline, because that's what's needed as we set these intentions, right? We need a certain amount of discipline. Disciplined effort, the paramita, will challenge our habitual nature, our habitual reactions. It is your habits that are keeping you from your practice commitment. Your habits are in the way. Just plain and simple, right? What are they? Busyness. What are they? Not taking time for self. What are they, right? This is what it is. Those habits are contributing. I want you to be clear to your suffering. They are not contributing to your getting a lot done. Forget about it. It's not true. They're not contributing to then I feel better about myself because I got my exercise in. No, it isn't. It's not true. No, it isn't. I know. I've heard a lot of you say that to me a lot, but I need to exercise every day. Yes, you do. Everything has to get exercised every day, including this bodhicitta heart. That's right. Everybody's willing to move their legs. Somehow we got that going on, but not the heart mind. And without it, I don't care what muscles you've got. Discipline is the conduct and also the commitment that de-escalates suffering. The warrior refrains from non-virtuous actions, and you're only capable of that restraint if you can see clearly how it is contributing to your and others' suffering. Paramita training is a way of humbling ourselves and keeping honest. Why? Because it's continuous and because it is never perfected. Remember what we said, the paramita means beyond any idea you could cultivate about its manifestation. It's not a code of conduct. It's not a rule. It's not rigid. and it's committed. Can you hold all of that together? This Shanti Paramita, patience, relax with the restlessness of our energy, the energy of anger, boredom, busyness. Patience takes courage. And boy, doesn't it, because it means I'm not going to rush in. I'm not going to just go with the demand. I'm not just going to go with my aggression. I'm actually going to take a step back, take those breaths, and see more clearly the path. The paramita of enthusiasm, I didn't talk about that so much, though I'll call it joyful effort, is connected with joy, you see here. In practicing this paramita, we are like children learning to walk. We train with energy, eagerness, and without a striving. It's got to look like this. It's got to get to this. It's just a child in wonder. Uplifted energy is needed for this practice. And so know that that's also essential to this path. I think those were the things I wanted to say. I put this in gold to remember it too. The threefold purity is also the essence of the meditation paramita. When we sit down to meditate, we leave behind the idea of the perfect meditator, the perfect meditation, and the perfect result. Right? This is all, and you can feel it, can't you? What pulls us back, which is, well, I didn't get what I wanted, which was ease. I didn't get what I wanted, which was you to understand me. I didn't get what I wanted, which is an immediately more peaceful world. Well, it is true, it is peaceful, but it's by that atom particle. And people go, yeah, I don't want that. I just want it to be better. Well, really, atom by atom, moment by moment, breath by breath, it is. And we begin to practice and let go. Just this moment, just this breath. And then bodhicitta becomes available. So the other three, I'm going to put them in a little different color here. That joyful effort, letting go of being perfect, that's going to be required, isn't it? Because somebody's going to miss their 20 minutes one of these days, aren't we? We're going to do it. It's going to happen. Let's just say it will happen. And what do we do? Without hatred, without judgment, without condemnation, we say, it's okay. What do I need to do? Where's the prajnaparamita in this? What can I see from this? I'm too busy to even find the time. I have to set a time now. I'm too distracted once my day starts to take that time at 1 o'clock that I set, right? We're going to use this prajna paramita to go, let me see what's in my way and commit myself wholeheartedly then to getting it out of the way. Okay, maybe I'm going to have to get up early to get it in. And yeah, maybe that's right. And it will be of great benefit. So I'm not worried about the return on your benefit. It will be worth it all. Meditation itself, training and coming back to being right here with gentleness and precision. They're both required, right? Gentleness, that's that unconditional friendliness, and the precision is the disciplined effort, just back to the object. Not in thinking about, well, what if and what not and how come and what about me, not helpful. I'm just going to get right back to the object. Precision, find the open space, find the breath, find the pause, find the gap. Right? That's the meditation. That's its instruction. You're going to be doing that not only in your committed time, you're going to notice you need it throughout the day, don't you? You're going to have to put that on throughout the day. Wait a minute. Step back, find the body, get into the breath over and over. And that's the training of the bodhisattva. And then the prajna happens. It is a continually curious, interested, open-hearted, let me see most clearly, even if it's something I don't like, let me open to the truth of it so that I can find the way to the end of suffering. And we're going to build that those 3 additional pieces of the path in this week. So we're going to open back to the whole of the 6 paramitas and see which ones we are needing the work with, needing to pay attention to, needing to cultivate. A disciplined effort's not so good. I'm going to have to create a little enthusiasm. I'm going to have to inquire a little more. That's all the Prajnaparamita's inquiry, to see what it is I need in order to realize this commitment that I have made. This commitment that I have made. If you are not resting in stillness and silence for some amount of time each day, you will not be able to create the pause to get to the wisdom. That's what the science says. And remember, we've already recognized that 60 breaths is somewhat the minimum bottom line on that. You will not be able to stop that ever churning, ever thinking, ever falling forward mind to even be able to see clearly what's here that I need to form new relationship with. What is here? And how do I then respond? Right? Without those 60 breaths. But let's begin wherever we can. Right? So for the people who said less than 60, this is not distressing for me, because I already know that 10 will grow 20, 20 will grow 40, 40 will grow 60 because of its benefit. If you are generous of heart, and that's one of the requirements in the paramitas. If you are kind enough to yourself, you will create this space for this. Siobhan says, I'm so very grateful that you are inviting us to step up to the plate with this commitment to practice. Yeah, I'm there. We are very fortunate that you are holding us to the fire. I am. And the gift of this is that we will benefit, no doubt about it, along with the benefits that will ripple out around us. So thank you. What a gift. Yes, I do. You're so welcome. And I actually do know this, because if we're all just sitting around thinking about this, we're all in trouble. We're in trouble, aren't we? And I mean big trouble, because we cannot change the world with all that thinking. Everybody else is doing it too, aren't we? Everybody's got some thoughts about what everybody else ought to be doing. And we've spent the last, I don't know, millennium deciding if only they could get it together. And there is no they, there's only us. And so commit yourself. Commit yourself, write it down. And if you haven't written it down, I'm looking at you now. Looking at you now. By the way, I see you. And I want you to commit in writing, because I know once we write it, once we say it publicly, we hold ourselves more to it, and you're inviting others to hold you in it too. Right? So if you haven't, you owe me. And actually, it's not quite true. You owe you, is the truth. Anything else that we want to say? I don't want to go forward into groundlessness. Groundlessness is going to be a challenging chapter, because we're going to be letting go of some things. And I will put some pressure on us in that letting go also, because there's something you're holding to. By the way, if you can't get to daily practice, there's something else you're doing that's taken up time, energy, resource that you do not need to be doing, isn't it? And we're going to figure out what that is. What is it? Right? I want to look at that, because you're distracted from the reality. And we can't keep you there, because it will hurt us all. And we can't stay there ourselves, can we? Because it's going to hurt ourselves. So, right, what is it? Groundlessness means letting go of all the clinging and finding the way to creating space and room and warmth. All right, everyone. It's 8:25. I'm going to check in, make sure that everybody who was writing has written. I've gotten almost everyone now. There's a few hangers on there. I will invite you to make that commitment. And let's do it now. Why don't we do it now? So let's do 20 breath practice. Let's do a 20 breath practice. Why? 20 breaths is very doable. I want you to see how doable it is. It will quiet the mind. It will establish mind body. It will cultivate a restful, open heart. And so just setting yourselves with that intention. And beginning. Placing the mind on purpose in the present moment. Again and again. It's not necessary to count the breaths. It would be better for you to let go of thinking altogether and drop back into the experience in the body. Or resting in open space. You did it. And you felt it. And others will feel it too. I love you. Happy New Year to you all. I look forward to realizing these intentions together. And if you're struggling, thank you so much. I got one of my two stragglers. Thank you so much. I've got only one to go. And so if you are struggling with the practice, know that the struggle is valiant. Know that it's essential. Know that this is prajnaparamita, pointing the way to you. You need to see where you are clinging, where you're caught, where you're looking for solution, where you think it will be of greater benefit to you, and it will not work. I promise it will not work. And so then we need to look at it together, because what were you hoping you were going to get from that? And be watchful. All right, everyone, look forward to seeing you Thursday. Greg is back. And happy birthday, Greg. Greg had a birthday at the end of December there. Happy birthday. And we will be in the garden this Saturday, though I will be leaving right away. Just before 9 o'clock, I will be leaving because I have another commitment out at the Geodome. I'm very excited about that this Saturday with a lovely group. And then we are going to be back at the Geodome on the 21st of this month. The 21st of this month is an all mindful all day. And so if you can't join us, if you can join us, please go to encinitasmindfulness.org to sign up. If you can't, we will not be doing, I will not be doing the meditation that morning, but we'll hopefully find somebody, but I'll keep you posted. And that's only a couple Saturdays away, right? So the 7th, that's a private group. The 14th, we will be here in the garden. The 21st of January, we'll be at the Geodome at Pete's. We've got a beautiful month set up for everyone. All right, everyone, be well today, and bring that Bodhi heart with you. Where you go. Take good care. I'll write something for you and send this, send the Zoom your way. All right, everyone, be well.